Hi, have you ever walked away from a deal and then wondered what if, or continued to stay in a bad situation just because you invested too much? Today, we are going to be talking about two costly decision making traps that are complete opposites. Hi, I'm Sankar. I've always been an ardent student of the English language and communication, and I get a genuine dopamine hit every time I find that perfect word or phrase that describes exactly what I want to say. In this vocabulary series, I take two related words, break down their meanings with memorable examples, and then show you how to use them confidently in real life. Let's dive in. First up, leaving money on the table. This is an idiomatic expression that means that you're walking away from a deal too early where you could have gotten more. Think about the scenario. You sell your car for $10,000, but then later realize that the buyer was willing to pay $12,000. You just left 2 grand on the table. It's like ending a negotiation too early, not pushing for that promotion that you deserve, or accepting the first offer that you get. You had the opportunity to get more money, benefits, opportunities, but you walked away from it. As Jerry Maguire said, show me the money. Sometimes we are too eager to close the deal that we don't ask to see all the money that is there. Warren Buffett famously said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. And sometimes we settle for less value than we could have gotten. This phrase is very common in business or negotiations. Think about the job offer scenario. A lot of applicants accept the first offer that they get from an employer, but every HR person knows that they usually budget more money than the initial offer. Accepting the first offer without counter negotiating is leaving money on the table. And here are a couple more example usages. Our sales team left money on the table by not proposing the premium package to the customer. Or, I think I left money on the table in that freelance negotiation. I should have asked for my full rate. But here's the flip side. Sometimes people make the exact opposite mistake. Instead of leaving too early, they refuse to walk away at all, and that brings us to our second concept word, sunk cost fallacy. This is a noun phrase for when you continue to invest in something just because you have already invested a lot of time, effort, or money. The logic goes, I can't quit now. I've already invested too much in it. But here's the thing. The money that you already invested, it's gone whether you continue or not. Terry Rogers puts it best in The Gambler when he says, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Sunk cost fallacy is not folding and holding on to a losing hand. As the saying goes, don't throw good money after bad. But that is exactly what sunk cost fallacy makes you do. An example I can think of is these huge infrastructure projects that governments take up. A bridge or a railway. These projects run over budget, but the government keeps pumping money, saying that we've already invested too much, even though that project no longer makes economic sense. Another example is in personal relationships where you remain in a relationship even if it isn't working just because you've invested too much time in it. Example usages. The company fell for sunk cost fallacy by continuing to push the product line just because they spent a lot of money in R&D. Don't fall for the sunk cost fallacy or that degree program just because you have completed 2 years. You don't need to complete it if it isn't the right path for you anymore. The fascinating relationship. Here's what's fascinating. Leaving money on the table is leaving too early for potential future gains, whereas sunk cost fallacy is not leaving at all because of past investments. Both these traps get you to a decision point to continue or not for completely opposite psychological reasons. One fears missing out on future value, while the other can't let go of past investments. So, to wrap up, next time when you're making a big decision, ask yourself, are you leaving money on the table? Or are you falling into the sunk cost fallacy trap? Both are dangerous mistakes. Again, I'm Sankar. Thank you for learning with me today. I'll be back soon with another fascinating word pair. Until then, happy communicating.